Hello everyone, this is a very quick lore video I wanted to do because I've recently been thinking about some interesting things regarding 30k and stuff. Some stuff during the Horus Heresy, and we got Horus here in the background, the Loyalist Horus, the Sons of Horus, second phase, and then the Black Legion Horus, third phase Horus. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about is Sanguinior to begin with. So Sanguinius, during, as I understand it, during the Horus Heresy, was acting emperor for a while because everybody thought that the emperor was dead. And I personally think that Sanguinior, because he can teleport around, kinda, almost like he has premonitions and he's using minor control of the warp to jump around, is potentially the very first direct son or heir of a Primarch, aka I think Sanguinior is Sanguinius' son. I think that's totally what they could be doing for 11th edition. Warhammer 40k is announcing that Sanguinior, or the Sanguinior, is Sanguinius' son. Has very little. I mean, the description literally is he's a mysterious entity that appeared after Sanguinius died. And I just find that, like, super, super interesting. The next thing I wanted to talk about is going forward in 30k, the heir of Horus. Abund the Despoiler, the person who claimed Horus's throne, which is actually legitimately claimed it too, because he was the favored of Horus and the chosen of Horus. But apparently, Fabius Bile cloned Horus, gave this Horus clone, and we don't know how many clones of Horus there were. He just gave a perfect, quotation marks, perfect clone of Horus, the Worldbreaker Mace, and told them that they would lead the Black Legion or the Sons of Horus, or if there was both at the time, whatever. And at a certain point, Abund, the Despoiler, basically dueled them for the right to rule. Biggest thing is this: we have to remember that this isn't Horus, even if it's a clone in body. In soul, it can't be, because Horus's soul was destroyed by the God Emperor of Mankind in 40k. Sorry, cough drop, because I've been sick. So this is only a clone of him in body, not in soul. There is also a Fulgrim clone, and we don't know how many Fulgrim clones there were, and one of these Fulgrim clones got sold, at least the perfect one, quotation marks perfect, got sold to a Necron who literally collects people, and just collects things. Just like, yeah, I like this, yeah, I like that, that's sweet, that's cool, whatever the heck. It's kind of creepy in my opinion, and a Necron collecting people and things as trophies, or just like keepsakes to look at. But to each their own. I mean, an immortal hoarder, but it's kind of funny. But supposedly there's more Horus and Fulgrim clones out there. Now I'm going to be focusing on Horus and Abund the Despoiler. I personally think that we'll see more Horus clones pop up. And I personally think that we will, for 11th edition Warhammer 40k, which might be 50k, we might be going into 50k here pretty soon, because we can't talk about 40 and 30k forever. So potentially 50k. I think that we will be seeing a lot more. I think we'll be seeing Horus and Fulgrim clones. I think the armies of the Emperor's Children are going to get disbanded or assimilated into the Black Legion or vice versa. I personally think that the Emperor's Children in lore have no reason to keep going and being what they're being and being separate from everyone else. They literally cruise around the universe in lore as mercenaries with the Black Legion, I might add. And the Black Legion has already assimilated certain units of them, like the Noise Marines and Fabius Bile himself, the greatest apothecary and the chief apothecary to the Emperor's Children. And I think that either Fulgrim or Abund the Despoiler is going to die. And one of them will take over the Black Legion and or the Emperor's Children. And you'll see a super unit of both of them. Basically, you'll see them both combined. And you'll have some really interesting, like a reformed, united Black Legion or Chaos Marines are united and very powerful all of a sudden Emperor's Children. And I think it's very possible that they'll do away with Abund because he's not as special as Fulgrim, because Fulgrim's a Primarch. Abund is just a Space Marine with the gene seed of Horus who claims Horus' throne. I mean, he's very powerful for what he is. He's almost as strong as a Primarch. And he literally killed the Horus clone and broke the World Breaker mace, which the Horus clone was wielding, in a duel to see who would lead the Black Legion / Chaos Marines going forward. But I don't know. I don't think Abund is going to win out against Fulgrim. That Endor Fulgrim gets killed by another Primarch, and Abund would take over the Emperor's Children, fully assimilating the Emperor's Children into the Black Legion / the Chaos Marines, and going from there. I want to really emphasize that I think it's really, really, really possible that Singinior will be named Singinius' heir, and the very first true official child of a Primarch. And I think that Abund the Despoiler, Horus' heir, will either die, and the Black Legion / the Chaos Marines will fall underneath Fulgrim and the Emperor's Children, and we'll see a really powerful Emperor's Children. Or we could also see a really, really powerful and amazing and revitalized Black Legion / Chaos Marines underneath Abund the Despoiler if Fulgrim were to fall to another Primarch or some really epic and destructive battle. I really love Horus. I really love Abund the Despoiler, but there's just no way that Abund, in my opinion, I just don't think there's any way Abund the Despoiler is capable of going after Fulgrim, especially since he's a Daemon Prince now of Slaanesh. Versus Abund, the coolest thing he's really wielding is the Talons of Horus, which is Horus' power glove with the combi bolter built in, which is, super freaking cool. 100 points for style. And he's in Terminator armor, and I think he has this mastercrafted power sword or something. So essentially, the coolest thing he's wielding is the talons of Horus, and it's kind of like his badge of office. Look at me, I have Horus's talons. Therefore, I am the leader. I own the throne of Horus. I am the heir of Horus. Abund the Despoiler started out as a captain in 30k, and gradually rose through the ranks and became the head of the captains, eventually becoming Horus's favorite, eventually becoming second command to Horus within the Sons of Horus, or the I don't know about him in the Luna Wolves Day, which is his first form, this white one, his white armor. The Sons of Horus would be this green armor. So in the days of the Sons of the Horus, I believe that's when he became head of the captains and would eventually become the favorite of Horus. In the days of the Black Legion, at the very end, when he had Horus ascended, you would have Abund the Despoiler becoming... sorry, I might be butchering this name because I cannot say his name really well for the life of me. However, during the days of the Black Legion, Abund would become the second in command to the Black Legion underneath Horus. And so when Horus died, getting his soul obliterated by the God Emperor, and Abund swooped in and called dibs on his freaking gear, basically robbing him of his combi bolter / power claw, the talons of Horus, or Horus's talons, with the combi bolter built in. It literally in lore just says he cut it from his armor and then built this Terminator suit out of pieces of Horus's, what was left of Horus's stuff, and this and the talons of Horus. So, I mean, he literally just... I feel like everybody swooped in and said, dibs! And nabbed their stuff because, like, seriously, it's kind of hilarious how that all happened. Because when the Emperor, he didn't die, the God Emperor of Mankind did not die, but technically, when he got beaten and put on his throne, everybody called dibs on his stuff too. Like Lionel Johnson's like, dibs, I get his shield, and then you have Rubik Gilman over here like, dibs, I want his sword because I suck in combat. So ta-da, now you have the two most powerful beings in the universe, both dead or disabled, and or no longer, functional. And all their stuff got stolen by their freaking peons. I mean, the Emperor, all his kids are like, and these are ours, thank you. Mine, 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 mine. And then Horus's second in command is like, and this is mine. I claim the talons of Horus, and with it my right to rule. I am the sole heir to the throne of Horus. Follow me, Black Legion. It is my time. And then, of course, Fabius Baal's like, well, what if I clone him? Then we could still have our leader, and we could be still led by Horus. Of course, which would never work, because Horus's soul was obliterated by the God Emperor, but he did supposedly make a clone of Horus in in body, not in soul. And this clone in lore supposedly only had scattered memories of Horus. And supposedly when this duel took place, he only was wearing normal space marine armor, so like none of this legendary armor of Horus, amazing gear stuff that you see him wearing. And these the three phases you see here in front of you, the Luna Wolf Horus, the Sons of Horus Horus, or the Black Legion Horus, which is the far right. He was just but he was wielding the amazing World Breaker Mace, which was the mace that almost basically destroyed the Emperor, and somehow lost to Abund the Despoiler with the Talons, which, in my opinion, the Talons are weaker than the World Breaker Mace. In lore, it would seem so as well, because you see the mace literally glowing and absolutely like destroying chunks of things, versus you don't see the Talons of Horus really doing that. But supposedly Abund versus the Horus clone did in fact lost decisively, and the World Breaker Mace. Say that 3 times fast. Broke. So the World Breaker Mace is no longer in play in current universe. Only the talons of Horus and what little pieces of his armor that were stolen from his body that was interred in a Daemon planet are really left, which is all a part of Abund the Despoiler. I do think it would be interesting if Abund the Despoiler did get taken out by another person with Horus's gene seed, because he has been a little immature and kind of like leading these really broken, faulty kind of crusades that have come to nothing except for the 13th crusade. So essentially he had 12 brutal failures before he had a success, and that's where they're currently at now. Anywho, I just wanted to talk about that and some of my ideas about where the Legion is going to go and all that good stuff. The real live is going to happen at another point. This video is going to be uploaded to YouTube as my Warhammer 40k video. I just thought I would stream it for anybody who wanted to listen to me. Hello everybody, thank you for joining the stream. The real stream will be happening in a half an hour. Me and Deathclaw are going to be setting up the game and doing something really cool. Anywho,